Well, we're joined then by Steve Richards and Claire Fox. And at the start, they're having a story about peerages, Claire. And it is our first time we've seen you, actually, since you yourself were awarded one. So, first of all, huge congratulations on that. You'll have seen there's been a fair amount of coverage over the weekend about all the appointments, but yours has also raised some questions. Some people raising a few eyebrows about you accepting a peerage when you've talked about wanting to abolish the House of Lords, haven't you?
I have indeed, and that actually, if you look at the Green candidates and the baronesses, the two Green baronesses, they also want to abolish the House of Lords. I think there's a tradition of that. I appreciate that people will level the charge of hypocrisy against me, but I just think that although it's an unelected chamber, I do think it's an affront to democracy. I'm also pleased to be given an opportunity and a platform to argue for things that I feel very strongly about, like free speech and obviously some of the ideas associated with Brexit. So I've taken it. I gave it some thought, you can imagine.
OK, and we are going to be turning to the papers in a moment. And in fact, the first story we're talking about is John Hume. So I'm just going to raise one of the other issues that's come up in the coverage about your appointment. Some have criticised the appointment because they say that you were associated with an organisation that failed to contend the IRA, that defended the IRA. So what do you make of that criticism?
Well, it is true that I was involved in revolutionary politics a long time ago, and there will have been views that I had then that I think at the time were part and parcel of politics as they were understood, including on Ireland, and they are very controversial today, but it was a long time ago. And one thing I'd say about John Hume, we're going to go on and talk about him, who was a titan and the person who orchestrated the peace process, was that he recognised that times move on, and that's what I'd say. It was a long time ago. Times have moved on. I understand people are very angry about views I had 27 years ago. That's life, you know. I stand on what I say now.